Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Makeup Revolution Duo Face Sculpt, and I figured I would do this as a kind of face-off review against the Nars Sculpting Blush Duo. Now I have the one in Paloma, which looks like this, while the Makeup Revolution looks like this. So the contour colour is a little bit warmer, just a tiny bit warmer in the Sky than in the Nars one. So let's talk about similarities and differences. Obviously similarities, they're both a contour and matte highlight kind of compact palette. The Nars one is £32 and has 8.2 grams total, where the Makeup Revolution is £4 and has 15 grams total. Now the Nars one has a much smaller pan of the highlight, where the Makeup Revolution, they're kind of equal size, you know, it's just split down the middle. So I do quite like that, although I do find I reach for the same contour product every day and different highlight products, so maybe in that way it does make sense for the highlight to be smaller. But I also quite like this highlight for setting my under eyes, so if this works the same, then that's something that I would use it for every day, and it would be good to have a greater amount of product, because I could easily see myself burning through the highlight in this much faster than the contour if I let myself use it to set my under eyes every day. So packaging wise, there's some quite significant differences. Obviously the Nars has the same sleek compact as always with a mirror, which is actually a reasonable enough size to use. The Makeup Revolution unfortunately does not have a mirror, and it's absolutely huge. You can almost hide behind it. I can barely even get it in my hand. But saying that, I don't carry my contour products around with me for touch-ups. I put them on in the morning and that's them for the day. So it's not the worst thing, but storing it might be a bit of a pest. It's a very generously sized product. That does, however, make it easier to get your brush into, compared to sometimes trying to get the highlight in this. My brush is actually thicker than it, so that can be annoying. Whereas with the Makeup Revolution one, obviously it's huge. I do like that the Nars has a kind of division area between the two products and you're not going to blur them together. But while this is a relatively new product, I don't see that being an issue. But I think when you get down to like having just small amounts left, and maybe when it starts to crumble, that's going to be more annoying. And I can probably see myself binning this product before it's completely finished, because once it starts to crumble it'll be so jumbled up and impossible to pick out the contour and the highlight sides. But that's a long way down the road, and for £4 it's not the worst thing. Now shade wise, the Nars comes in 5 different shades. I actually only have the second lightest. There is one lighter than this, but I liked this. I didn't find the other one particularly noticeable. Whereas the Makeup Revolution only comes in 1 shade. So this is meant to do everybody from my skin tone to really nice tanned and darker skin tones. And I should have thought that through before I filmed my application section. So I'm going to put in the application section just now so that you can see the two of these going on. And as I say at the end of that section, I'm going to come back kind of later on today and just see how the two have held up, whether there's been any fading or anything. So let's get those products in the face. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Nars contour palette on my left cheek. Now I've got this in Paloma, so I just dab my brush in and do from the ear down underneath. I like using a fluffy brush for my contour. I have tried those like straight rectangular ones. I'm not very good with them, quite frankly, so I'm back to my good old faithful MAC 168. So that was a nice, easy, strong contour. And then I'm just wiping my brush off on a towel, and then we'll go into the Makeup Revolution palette, into the dark side of it, obviously. Now this does not have a mirror. This seems to be quite a hard powder because I've swiped my brush quite a lot and that still looks immaculate, but there is product on the brush, so let's go from there. There's a lot of dust kicking off from this, and it does seem to be incredibly pigmented. Way more pigmented than I'll say I was expecting. I probably should have dabbed my brush a lot more delicately in there. This is going to be interesting trying to balance this out. Whoops. Okay, still a bit strong. I don't normally do my contour that strong, so I've actually got a little bit of powder kicking around here. I'm just going to use that to soften that out a little bit. It's definitely a harsher colour for my skin tone, but I guess I probably should have assumed from the fact that there's only one shade that this is going to be designed to suit people who are not as pale as me. So that is really strong contour, but that's my fault. So I'm just going to quickly dab some blush on as well, just quickly so that my cheeks are finished, because I always do my blush before my highlight. Personal preference. And then highlight, I'm just using this Spectrum brush. So again, back to the Nars, and we've got the small matte highlight section here. So I like this because it's a matte highlight that actually does work for me, which, given how pale I am, I find quite rare. But it's just pretty. So then the Makeup Revolution one does look very similar, so if this works, I'm going to be very excited. I do like that. Another thing I like using these powders for, or the one in the Nars anyway, is setting and brightening my under eye area. I just think it looks so much more awake. So application wise, I think this is still kind of my fault that I put on way too much of that product. So let's try and blend it out with my highlight brush, which tends to not really have any pigment on it. Okay, that's better. Right, so far I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to come back throughout the day just to really see whether they wear the same, but it's 10 to 12 just now anyway, so we'll see if I still have a contour left on both sides at the end of the day, and then we can kind of have a final verdict. Okay doke, so okay, so guys, it's now 10 past 10 at night. I want to be getting ready to go to my bed now, so I'm just doing a check-in on this. So as you remember, this is the Nars side. It's definitely toned down a little bit throughout the day, but still definitely noticeable in there, both for the highlight a little bit and the contour. And then when we go to the Makeup Revolution side, I would say it's faded quite a bit more. My face almost looks a little bit uneven, I would say, in terms of how angular my contour looks, but I think if I'd done both sides of that, that's obviously not going to be an issue. I would prefer if it stayed a little bit more, but I think definitely for £4 you can't knock this product. This has been quite a long day for me, and I'm ready to go to bed now. So if you've got any questions about this product, or either of these products really, leave those in the comments down below and I will get back to you. And I hope you all have a fabulous week this week, because I'm posting this on a Monday. So fingers crossed, lots of fun and exciting things happen to you this week. And I will talk to you later. Bye guys!